Orlando First Johnson here, and this is the Engineer Freestyle Podcast. All right, we live. Let's check the camera angle. We're here, man. Still going, still fresh. I'm happy. We all should be happy. We all should be thankful. And today, we're going to talk about how I learned how to set up Dave Pensado's template. And just to broaden that topic, I'm going to be speaking on, just paying attention to the room. I think that's a subject matter, but specifically tell you the story how I learned Dave Pensado's template and how you like to set up. So, yeah, man, I was reminded recently about it. Well, yesterday actually, I went to watch Super Bowl at the homie Ricky's house, and I just remembered yesterday is not relevant to this because it doesn't really matter day and time. You might be listening to this a month later, but yeah, I was at the homie Ricky's house, hanging out with everybody, and Justin, which is Ricky's brother, his homie Ernie reminded me about when I mentioned in the video that I would be explaining in a podcast how I learned Dave's template and how I learned how he liked to set up. The importance of this, I feel, is that for anybody trying to level up or, show their worth in a situation, it might be harder in a job, like a regular job situation, just a little bit, because they're very good at just taking advantage of workers. That's a whole nother topic. I'm not gonna get on that right now. But if you're in a more like self-working field where you're kind of on your own, like a designer or engineer or a barber, and you start off as an apprentice, I think this is a great tip. And the great tip is keep your eyes and your motherfucking ears open at all time. And that's something I learned being around my father. My dad didn't want us talking much, but as me and him, well, as I got older and our relation built, I would pay attention to what was going around. There's a whole nother situation to that, but just simple. Keep it as simple as possible. I made sure to look at people he couldn't look at while he was doing his thing, and I would speak on it later. And I basically took that form of thinking and that form of just being myself and implemented it into my engineering. So, me being an assistant, I had to pay attention to how Dave wanted his day to be ran. That's kind of like one of the first things I learned. His, like, how he liked his day to be, like, it wasn't, I don't think I had to do it, but the whole purpose of being an assistant is to help somebody, is to help their job be a lot more easier. Like, you're not going to get as much compliments as you think, and you're not going to be cherished all like that. Your job is just to help them do their job 10 times easier. So, every day I'll show up before he got there. When he gets there, he'll give me a call or let me know he's here. I'll go out there, go grab his bag, walk him in, make sure I have a water there, make sure that I take his iPad out of his backpack and I'll make sure that it was charged. Well, if it was charged, I'll leave it alone. If it wasn't charged, I'll plug it in and charge it. I didn't bring snacks to the room because he liked to walk and get his own snacks. I made sure that I learned this lesson later. I made sure that his chair was the way he liked it. I always looked for trash and picked it up. I cleaned things that I felt like need to be cleaned because clients were coming in and out. If his desk wasn't lined up properly to the tape, I'll try to, catch that and move the desk back and make sure it's in place. Of course, this happened over like months, but hopefully, like, you hearing this can have you implement that into your own, workflow. And I hope it will help somebody when they're in like their little assistantship or internship. But yeah, man, I was just listening, and there's phone calls where I knew I should step out the room. Like if he's talking to a certain person, I'll kind of like find my way outside and go get a coffee or go use the bathroom. And there was other times, perfect example, where he was speaking on the template. He happened to be speaking to Leandro. Shout out to Leandro. And no, it wasn't Leandro. Sorry, correction, my bad. But still, shout out to Leandro. Um, he was speaking to a client engineer, I believe. It's a couple years ago, so I'm still hazy with the memory. But he was speaking to a client's engineer, and he told the engineer how he liked his session laid out. So I listened to that. He also gave me, full range to open up sessions and look and learn. So I also did that. And then I asked Leandro a couple of things, and that helped me out too. So I took all those things, and put them together, like watching him work on the template and then seeing him do short keys, and I was like, how'd you do that? And then he'll show me like, oh yeah, dot 6 dot on a numeric keypad picks this up because it's in his memory locations, just stuff like that. And I was like, oh, so I will go to the session, look at his memory locations, and I noticed like, oh man, like he likes a mix bus on this. And of course, I've also like verified it with him, but I tried to learn all this stuff before I even get into conversation. So I started to realize that, okay, this plugin he liked, to be picked up on a quick key, and the mix bus needs to be on this, and marker set markers for everything if there isn't markers, and make sure. And it was just like things like that that I really paid attention to, and I think it's very important to learn learn without being told this is what you need to learn. That's like a super important thing, because on some real shit, if I bring somebody on, I don't have an intern. I don't feel I'm at the level yet. People tell me I should bring in interns, but I don't think I'm at that level yet. But if I have an intern and I'm bringing you into my studio and you've been there for, you know, let's say 3 months, in those 3 months, you need to be asking me questions. You need to be picking up on stuff, because if I have to keep showing you how to do something, or keep explaining stuff over and over, or keep checking you on things, like that's not helping me, with my making my job any easier. Like, get to make my life easier. And it sounds like some slave shit, but like at the end of the day, like, you're paying your dues, and this is how numerous amount of engineers and producers and songwriters and artists, I can go on and on and on. This is how they made their way. So if you know the next level between where you're at and to get to the next level is to impress this person so much that they want to help you get to the next level, then you have to do what it takes. I'm not saying have sex or do anything crazy, not like that, but there was times where um he was just like, yo, can you make me peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And I did that. And I was so obsessed with making the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich that it just, that was like that for me, that was another moment to prove to him, like, oh yeah, I am the guy you need. Like, I need to be here. So I'm gonna make the world's greatest peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you ever tasted. And even with coffee, I had like I memorized the mixtures that I did. When I noticed that he really liked it, I'd memorize the mixtures I did. I'm like, okay, so he likes it with this amount. It needs to be like at least this color. And I always try to be careful with the color, and just stuff like that, because visually and taste is something that people take in. So it's like, if it looks the same, then it might taste the same. That's a whole nother situation. But yeah, so there's things like that, and just paying attention and just kind of feeling the vibe is just important in any field, man. Especially as an engineer, if you're in a room, just going on to later years, being in Atlantic Studios, and there's times where the artist and the manager are talking, and I can kind of tell that the room got a little bit more quiet, and they don't really want to say too much out loud. I just find myself outside. There was a time where I'd make jokes and be like, "Yo, what did I used to say? I'm the king." It was something like the king of disappearing, or like I'm the engineer who Houdini, something like that. I used to just say that all the time, and it was just funny because I just knew how to read a room. I was in so many rooms. I'm pretty sure I've probably done over 2,000 sessions. Like I've had to have done over 2,000 sessions. If you're just thinking about like 3 years, 4 years, it had to be at least 2,000 because I feel like I was running a session damn near every day, and running doubles and sometimes triples because I run doubles at the label and then run another session at my spot, and that's it's a lot. And yeah, damn, just even think about that. But yeah, man, like you can tell what somebody doesn't. You can tell when somebody doesn't like something. You can tell when they like something. You know, you can feel all that stuff. You can see it, and I think it's important to use your senses because what that's gonna do is you may think you're just doing it to get to the next level, but you're building great habits. You're building habits that are going to help you surpass what you think you're trying to achieve. Because I could be honest with you, I remember the other day, I um I was like cleaning out one of my old wallets. I changed to like a new smaller wallet, and I found out a list. I found the list of goals I wrote when I was in school, and it tripped me out because I completed four of the five things on there, and the fifth thing, I completed it, but I didn't complete it the way I wanted to. So it's still in the fact of like me just putting my head down, working and paying attention and keeping my eyes open and seeing how somebody else does something. Perfect example, YouTube videos. When people are watching YouTube videos, I didn't want to put out YouTube videos. I keep saying this over and over. I know people are gonna get annoyed of it, but I didn't put out YouTube videos because there's a lot of information that is somebody with an ego telling you like this is the best way to do something, and you know one you have to this is something that's missed in just this generation, this time, not necessarily the generation of kids or anything, but just in this time, you have to know who you're getting that information from. And nobody is better than anybody as a human being. Like I'm big on like treat everybody the same, show respect, show love, da da da, all that stuff. But when we're talking about being one of the best engineers or being one of the best producers or being one of the best songwriters, if somebody that doesn't even have any accolades is telling you that they're the best, they should be doing this, you should be doing this, da 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 da, with all this ego and this vibrato in their voice, and they're fucking dissing everybody that uses certain plugins, or they're saying people are this and that. If you're watching a YouTube video and you're believing this person, you're taking all this in, good for you. But I'm just saying, like, if you're taking all this stuff in, really take the actual like computer screen or TV screen or cell phone from the situation. Really think about this. If somebody walked up to you on the street, just randomly, was just like, yo, I'm the best at this shit. You have to listen to me. Do it this way. You're going to succeed. And you're looking at them and you're thinking to yourself, if you're so good, why are you on the bus with me? It's that type of mentality. Because, like it or not, people are very judgmental. As much as I try not to be judgmental, I do judge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna take advice from somebody that could be or you deem to be in your same position. And it's not a fucked up thing. Like, it's just reality. Like, you know, let me backtrack a little bit. You can take advice from somebody. Don't get me wrong. I've learned stuff from people that are not in the game because they're outside looking in. But I'm more speaking on the fact of certain people just having such an ego that they're like, I'm the best at this. But the reality is, they are not the best at this. And, excuse me, are you going to listen to Jordan or everybody? Are you going to listen to Kobe? You know, rest in peace. Are you going to listen to Kobe tell you some basketball advice? Or would you listen to Kobe tell you some basketball advice? Or will you tell the guy, listen to the guy that didn't make it out of high school, didn't even get to college, with a basketball scholarship, or didn't make it anywhere? And that's really what it is. And you can, don't get me wrong, you can learn from everybody. You can learn from everybody, but we on some next level shit right now. Like, that's what we on right now. Like, that's the whole purpose of this. So definitely just pay attention, keep your eyes open, and just fact check shit. If you think this person is going bonkers and it's like, no, I don't really rock with this. Just check. This is why it's important to really pay attention. I'm just gonna make this more simple. It's important to pay attention because everybody gonna have a video of the same thing. Let's say, like, oh, this is how you mix the lead vocal to a 2-track. Everybody's gonna have their same, that same type of video. But you need to really pay attention to and listen and to see what they're doing. Really pay attention and think deep down to yourself. Does this make sense? Is this something I'll do? And you can go try it. I always say try it. Always try it. Go try it and see how it comes out. But I'm gonna promise you, I'm gonna let you know right now, I've met some of the biggest in the game. When people lead with ego, 9 out of 10 they don't know what they're doing. It's just a reality check. I've met some of the biggest, and they're super humble, super respectful, and they're calm. Not no crazy loud mouths. So, it goes back to the next episode, faking it till you make it, man. Just really pay attention to what's going on around you. That's how you create your opportunities. That's how you get things going for yourself. Worry about the task that's in front of you. Because if I didn't work hard to show Dave how bad I wanted him to succeed, it would have never made sense for him to want me to succeed. Because if I was only focused on myself, I don't think he would care as much to push me to get to the next level. So that's something to always think about. And yeah, man, keep it genuine. Super important. Keep it genuine. And yeah, just gonna end it with that. End it with that. I hope I look good on the camera. But if you're listening if you're listening on like Spotify and iTunes, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. If you're on Spreaker, if you're on the website, thank you. I appreciate you. If you're on YouTube, you get to see my face, which is funny. I might look comfortable. I'm still very uncomfortable with this stuff. And yeah, man. Like wherever you're at, share wherever you're at, subscribe wherever you're at, and more is coming. Wow, I didn't think it was gonna get this far, so I'm hyped. I'm thankful. So, more videos coming soon, more podcasts coming soon. Hopefully, guests are coming soon. So, peace.